Black Friday is upon us, and it turns out Americans are splurging on food and toilet paper. It's that time of year when our leftover legacy media lectures Americans on the evils of rampant consumerism and feeding your children 3 times a day. But a new study covered by Natalie of Chess finds the top items Americans are buying on Black Friday are not the widescreen televisions of Best Buy Gladiator fame, but basic essentials. So 33% of Americans plan to buy household supplies like cleaning products and toiletries to treat themselves for Black Friday. Another 22% are splurging on paper towels and laundry detergent. 25% are buying groceries, 18% are buying home repair materials, and 21% are replacing a worn-out fridge or washer. Why the back to basics? Because the price of all these things soared under Biden. While household budgets are squeezed not only by salaries failing to keep up with prices, but with soaring housing costs that have doubled the price of buying a house between jumping house prices, a doubling in mortgage rates, and additional jumps in insurance and, of course, property tax. My colleague E.J. Antoni estimated these combined for a $7,000 hit to the purchasing power for the typical American family. One study by Realtor.com found the average American now spends a quarter of their monthly take-home on housing. 1 in 10 spend half what they make. As always, this is hardest on the young. A recent study by Card Rates found over half of millennials and Gen Z spend the majority of their income on housing. 1 in 3 have moved back in with their parents. So at their age, their grandparents owned a house, their parents were renting, they are living in mom's basement. It gets worse because it turns out Black Friday shoppers are not just buying groceries, they are financing them, including an explosion in buy now, pay later that, like heroin, dulls the pain today but saves up a world of trouble down the road. So a study last month by Deloitte found that over half of Americans will be financing their Black Friday shopping, rising to 60% for Gen Z, 72% for millennials. In previous videos, I've talked about soaring credit card debt, which just hit $1.2 trillion with 43% of all cards carrying a balance, making monthly payments at interest rates that average 24.5%, which is cheaper than the mafia. Even worse is a surge in so-called buy now, pay later, where you break the payment into little bits every 2 weeks at interest rates that can start small and then balloon up to 37% if you ever miss a payment. So buy now, pay later has exploded since the pandemic, jumping 2.5 times and now accounting for 5% of consumer spending and rising fast. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. American consumers are in dire straits after 4 years of Joe Biden, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. The question now is, how deep is the hole, and can Trump pass enough reforms to get the economy growing fast enough to keep us out of recession and get household income growing again? That's going to depend how much Trump and Elon's Doge can get done on their own via executive orders, and how much the uniparty rhinos and vindictive Democrats stand in the way. A new episode of the podcast just dropped, rounding up all the top stories, including the debt bomb they're handing to Trump, the Doge plan for blowing up the deep state, mass deportations, and how to actually end the Federal Reserve. Search Peter St. Onge wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.